First thing, please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Do you do public hearing?
Oh, do we have a public hearing first?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's just do the Pledge of Allegiance and then we'll do the public hearing. How about that? All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, let's open this public hearing at 6 o'clock. Public hearing notice pursuant to the expenditure of $613,818.40 for the assessment contribution to New Hampshire School Healthcare Coalition. Hearing begins at 6 o'clock. So we open this public hearing. Did you have anything that you wanted to say to this, Amanda or Michelle?
I can. So the school care invoice of the 613,818.40, you'll see the revised DOE 25 going around. So our recommendation is to pull it from the FY 25 5% retained funds that we, the 650,000 from FY 25's DOE. Just because it is an FY 25 expense, that was the recommendation of our auditors.
Auditor, yes. Financial advisors.
And Mark may
And
know.
Mark may know, yes.
Gotcha.
So
All
I have
right.
a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So why not take advantage of the extended payment plan that they offered?
That's only through December
It
1st.
is only, and then after that, you're accruing
Then you're getting
interest.
interest on it.
So it's a done deal that we're just gonna have to pay up this 600 and something thousand?
So right now, I do have Peter Phillips, our attorney, reviewing the contract to make sure that, you know, they are in good legal standing. But at this point, it was best for us to have this public hearing to make the public aware that we do potentially owe this amount, and that we would be paying for it, if that's the standing of the lawyer. And he did believe that there was a clause that would state that. Michelle, do you want to talk about the, or do you want to take public comment?
I wouldn't
Can
be
we slow
public in
down?
this respect.
Can we,
Yeah.
can we slow them down, please?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. So, yes, we'll take, Deb's one of our financial advisors.
Yeah.
So she can weigh in on this, and then we'll open it up to public comment. But I want to make sure the board members have a chance to ask questions first. Go ahead, Brewster.
No,
Oh.
I would like to please just slow this down a little bit, because
Okay.
I'm trying to.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought
I'm
you
trying to comprehend everything that's going on here with this, okay? That's all.
Okay.
That's what I want to explain.
Okay, go ahead, Deb.
So, in 2012, in the Hampshire Secretary of State contract, he made a contract with school care and any other risk pool people. So school care is a risk pool. Everybody puts money into it, and everybody gets covered. So it's a risk pool practices agreement that was put into place. And what that meant was they couldn't keep their money. So every year, since 2012, school care has returned what they're calling premium holiday to all the school districts that participate in their health insurance and their dental insurance. So Michelle looked up, for the last 5 years, Mascoma School District has received $1 million back in premium holidays. So we get a credit on the July invoice, and then we pass on that savings to all the employees and to the district. So over the last, since 2012, we've received a lot of money back, and we've never had to pay in, because they've always returned the excess money they have, because they're not allowed to keep it, to the school districts. So this 1 year, because of obviously multiple claims, and we all know where health insurance is headed. So, I mean, you have to, and I can't believe I haven't read that somewhere. I feel like I should probably write a letter to the editor. But school care has returned so much money, and now that they have a shortfall, you know, in 2023, they returned $3.2 million to all the districts. So we have to take that into consideration when you're saying, okay, now they had a lot of claims, and because if they kept all that money, they would have been fine, right? So
But they legally could not keep that.
they legally could not keep it.
Okay.
They had to return it as premium holidays.
Okay. Any questions from the board? About?
Not yet.
Okay.
I might.
Okay. Open it up to public comment. Mr. Carter, go ahead.
So there's one obvious question here. If when there was excess money, some of the money went back to the employees, Now, if there's a shortfall, are we gonna be collecting some of the money back from the employees? Because they're supposed to be paying X percent of the premium. This is actually, they collected less in premiums than they should have, which means the bills were lower than they should have, which means the employees' contribution was less than it should have been. So is there going to be a makeup for that? Because I'm sure the money coming back, going back to the employees was negotiated. Does it go in the other direction?
Okay.
It's a good question, but
Yeah.
I would say, no. I mean,
Then
I
I would
don't
say-
see people, I don't see.
Then I would say in the
businesses
future,
collecting
we
that.
shouldn't be giving it back until we know.
But we're
we've got-
required to, because if people retire, they send us a retiree list, and we have to return that amount to the people that don't even work for us anymore.
Okay?
So it's required.
And Deb, am I correct in saying that the premium holiday is the way that they return some of the money to us?
That's how they do it, but then instead of using the billing rate, which is the rate we're quoted from school care, we use the effective rate, which takes into consideration that refund that we got on the July bill, and we spread it out over the full fiscal year.
I mean, this was a big chunk. It was $30 million statewide.
Yeah.
There's school districts that are raising taxes.
Yep.
Including Concord, who got hit for $2 million, plus they've got $3 million in special ed that they've got to make up.
Yep.
It's a lot of money, but then, all right, if the New Hampshire Secretary of State hadn't
Right?
decided that you can't keep this money, we wouldn't be in this situation,
Right.
so.
Or let them keep a buffer or anything like that. Yes.
I don't know if anybody else has any questions on the board.
Anyone else? All right. Floor is yours.
My question is, moving forward, before I forget, we're in negotiations coming up for the teachers' contract, right? So this could have some bearing effect on how we're gonna proceed with that, correct?
Health insurance overall will have.
That's what I'm talking about,
Correct.
health insurance, yeah.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. And I've already seen on the news about all the other stuff, so Kathleen makes a good point, but if we don't pay it, and we wait until the end of December, it's no, well, depends.
December 1st.
Just, it says no interest will be paid, by December 31st, 2025, grace period.
Yeah.
Interest will accrue on January 1st, 2026. The only thing is, I know Kathleen's question is there any purpose for waiting until end of the year before we pay this, or is it better off just to pay it now?
We would need to pay it now to report it in FY25, because the DOB 25 is due.
Oh, so in order to spend another 20, that's,
What's it?
We can always amend it.
It's accrued,
I
it's
couldn't
accrued
do
at
that.
the end of 2025. You can pay it. I wait till the last
You
day.
could pay it.
What's that?
I wait
That's
till the
true,
last day.
that's true.
That's my question is,
Yeah, we're
I
not
would,
paying it with the second. It's
we can wait and
reported.
pay it wait till the end of December to pay it, and not have to
collect the interest on that cash.
Yeah, whatever interest we could get out of it, yeah.
It can be encumbered.
Yes, that's true. So,
Mascoma's in a good position. I mean,
What's that?
Mascoma's in a very fortunate position that you have a nice fund balance and you voted to retain it,
Yeah.
$650,000 year after year,
Yeah.
that would
because
be,
of things that come up like this.
my,
Just wait till December 30th and pay it then?
well, yeah,
Yeah.
I'd wait till, as long as you don't get penalized, I would, that's my suggestion, and I'll have to make a motion to that or not.
But we have it later down here, because this is just a hearing.
Okay,
So yeah, we'll get to that one.
fine, I didn't get far down.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Amanda?
Yeah, go ahead.
Amanda, the question I have is, do we have a timeline for legal to get back to us on this?
He was having it reviewed, so he did not tell me exactly when, but I would not pay this bill until I had a confirmation from him.
That's really where my head's at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What, did the governor step in on this at all? Did she mention anything about what's going on with this? Did she Nothing, and the Department of Education hasn't said anything?
They have not said anything.
They have not said anything. So the only way we've heard is the last board meeting, we heard about it and got slammed on it, and now we're dealing with this.
It has made us start looking at the other insurance insurance company, the other risk pool that we can join. Health First.
Health Trust,
Health Trust.
they don't give you,
Yeah.
we'll know what the budget,
Yeah.
before the budget's finalized, we know exactly what the cost is gonna be. Health
Right.
Trust gives you a not to exceed price.
Exactly.
Can I ask Deb a question?
So, you may.
Sure, I'd like to ask a question, because I've dealt with her for a long time.
Go ahead.
It,
Say that again.
this, we've been back and forth, we're good, you're great with me, we have our differences, but we work them out. Is this a one-time thing that might happen with them, you think, or is this something that,
I don't know if you can predict that, but I suspect not. I mean, look at their history over the last 23 years. They've returned, $200,000, $250,000, $300,000
yeah?
every year to us. So, I mean, we're way ahead of the game if you look at it
Yeah,
over the history of
Yeah.
our affiliation with them.
okay. That's all I have for questions right now.
Go ahead, Kathleen.
So looking forward to the future in order to protect ourselves, because we're lucky this time around, but we won't always be that lucky. Would it make more sense to take the surplus, when there is a surplus, and put it into like a capital reserve account just for this purpose, that money would be earmarked in case we get hit with back billing again, if we're going to stay in the risk pool management though? Now, the other insurance you just briefly mentioned, that's not a risk pool, is it?
It is,
It is?
Yeah.
Okay, so the same RSA would apply to that?
yes.
Because if like Brewster, if you want to look up that RSA, it's RSA 5B, and it's 18 pages long.
Yeah,
And it has a lot of answers in there of how we got to where we are today. And I
Yeah.
can't believe that the New Hampshire Insurance Commissioner wants to continue doing business this way.
Yeah.
that's
I'm
a good
just
idea,
appalled.
Kathleen, because you know what your premium holiday was in July. So when you do your warrants, I mean, in fact, you'd be taking that money and putting it into a capital reserve.
Yeah,
But you would put it on the warrant, and then
Right.
that money would go, so that would make sense.
but we'd also have to pay attention to the fact that the
5B.
employees are entitled to a
5B.
certain share of that surplus.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
Legally, I
negotiated
think,
in the contract.
I think it says they are.
I think we need to look at it and prepare for whether it's a special ed shortcoming, whether it's, an insurance shortcoming. I think and would advise that we look at retaining that 5%.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We
Rather
already have
than
that.
warrant
too.
article, and just continue to retain that, 650, because you all can do that.
Yeah.
The public can't say no to a warrant article.
Right.
Right? So the public could say, no, you can't retain that $650,000,
Never opposed.
and then we're sort of in trouble. But you all can say, we're gonna retain up to 5%, am I getting it right? Up to 5%,
Yeah.
which we retain that $650,000 that, Deb mentioned last year, this year. Did we do it the year
Year
before that?
before.
And
Close to
before.
it, yeah.
Yeah,
So
well-
we've just retained that money, sort of. Deb, how did you say it? It was like if school care could have retained some money?
Yeah,
Well, for this exact purpose, really.
Exactly.
Like for an unexpected bill that just comes due to us.
Right, because as much as it stinks, at least, we're in a position where it's not, we're
Yeah.
not trying to figure out how to pay that bill.
Right.
We have
We
the
have-
money
We
reserved.
planned, yeah.
Right,
Very lucky.
we're very lucky because there's so many districts that weren't ready to be hit with a $500,000 bill or more.
Right.
We have two things that make a big deal about. One is the insurance we have to pay for the teachers or that contract on those 3-year contracts or with the other group. And the other thing is special ed. In special ed, we always go way above because we always know it's going to be something that's going to happen during the year when we've got the money sitting aside. So those two big factors, I think we need to keep in question every year. We need to keep that 5% too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
All right. Any further questions?
I have one more
Yeah,
question.
go ahead.
So we're moving to looking forward to 26, 27. So we know that, I'm kind of jumping the gun here with Michelle's report, but it says here that school care is sunsetting the current plans that we have and are moving to other plans that are wonderfully named 2.0. I guess there's twofold questions here. Number one would be, do we have any information on price increases for these new plans because they are newly being implemented? Or do we need to?
You could have had them this year, so they were new last year.
Okay.
This year.
All right.
Have last year's rates.
So we have some information on that
Some,
for price.
yes.
Okay. And we're conservatively budgeting for somewhere around, they're saying 16%, we're looking at 20% increase potentially for next year. Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're budgeting. I will say that I have Health Trust. That's my insurance at work, and we just got a 17.9 for the year. So that's what we just got. So budgeting 20 is a good idea.
Now, support staff is locked in with the current Origin
Yeah.
model because they're in a contract, so they won't
Okay.
go to 2.0.
Okay, so the 2.0 plan will be for this upcoming contract, not necessarily support staff.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Any further comment from the public?
Just one.
Yes.
I think you're gonna still need the motion. Because, let me finish, Brewster. Because the auditors are not going to be able to close the books on 2025 unless you've set that up, that you're going to pay the bill.
Yeah, later.
Oh, it's under new business.
You don't have to pay the money,
We just have to authorize them.
but you've got to, because the auditors will not be able to close 2025 until they know you've done something.
Yep.
See, it's on here later.
Yeah, later on, under new
That's
business.
the first thing under new business.
Cool.
Yeah, that's,
All right.
I'm gonna make a motion.
All right, seeing as no comment, we can close this public hearing at 6:17. All right, and now we can open our school board meeting. First thing we have on our agenda for school board is approval of minutes, public and non-public, for September 23rd. I'll take a motion on that.
I'll make a motion to approve the public and non-public minutes for September 23rd.
I'll second.
Okay, any comments, questions, concerns on that?
The non-public minutes that are in the packet are from 9/9, not 9/23.
Yes, I saw that too. And we already
Yeah.
approved those at the last meeting.
Yeah, that's,
So we don't have a copy of the September 23 non-public.
so will you withdraw your motion to approve non-public then? And then we can just approve the public?
Wait a
then?
minute, I'm just looking at my packet here, and there is
In the
a
printed?
top, in the printed one.
There is the printed.
There is one in the printed that is.
Oh, okay.
So,
The online version is incorrect, is that what you're saying?
The online, yeah, the online version.
Online version is
yeah,
9/9.
so.
Yeah, the online version is 9/9.
Yeah.
I got the first one.
Yeah, you got the right one. You got the right one.
Yeah, the non-public is the one that is not correct online.
Well,
So
if
my
you-
motion still stands.
okay, then
because
you're
it's
good with
here.
it. You guys can look at that.
Yeah,
So that's fine.
so it just basically says,
No,
What happened?
no.
yeah,
shouldn't
I
be.
mean, we went into non-public for 2 RSA numbers for the
Yep.
hiring and
Oh,
the purpose of carrying on the emergency functions.
yeah. Okay.
That was just the EOPs.
Yep.
So that's all it was.
Nothing's.
Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
Everybody done the rest of the minutes?
Yeah, we had fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
All those in favor of approving minutes, public and non-public, of September 23rd, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Abstention? I abstain. I was not there, so I'll do that. All right, public comment for the board meeting. Any public comment for the meeting?
So I have 2 legislative bill requests that are still coming through the pipeline. Well, actually, the first, which I think at least Tim and Amanda are familiar with, is when I saw the story in the Valley News about the bus driver situation, I submitted a request for a bill to create reciprocity so that if you're certified to drive a school bus in Vermont, you would be automatically certified to drive it in New Hampshire as well, based on the comments from, and I forget the gentleman's name who runs Butler,
Steve Landon.
who was quoted. I do have David Frack from Enfield who has agreed to co-sponsor, and there's a gentleman, and I'm going to butcher his last name, a Republican from Goffstown, Henry Geeson, I believe, who was on the Transportation Committee. I had Legislative Services do a side-by-side of Vermont and New Hampshire. And it seems to be follow exactly with one exception, and I'm not sure, I've got to track down this exception, but there's some additional test that New Hampshire requires of anyone who's going to drive. But the odd thing, it says you have to be employed by a bus company in order to take this test in New Hampshire. Vermont does not have a similar, so I got to figure out what that.
You get a job if you don't have a certification, right? Like,
Amendments, fix this car. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And the only thing I would ask is if, particularly Amanda, if you know of other school districts, assuming Massachusetts and Maine do not recognize New Hampshire certifications, so there's no point in trying to get reciprocity there. So it would pretty much be limited to the Connecticut River Valley.
Yep.
Any communities from Cheshire to Coas. If there are other school districts who might be willing to support when this bill comes
Yep.
up.
I know there's a shortage in Lebanon.
The second bill, which is, I think also will be of interest, and there are I know several of my colleagues have introduced bills regarding school funding. My version, which was actually, I have to give credit to the Fair Funding organization, because they actually developed this. But essentially, it is a bill that would require the Department of Revenue Administration to come up with at least 5 different options to fully fund the Conval and RAND decisions. So, very honestly, I do not expect that to pass. I expect it will be killed in the crib. But
Is that special ed, sort of like paying for special ed? Or?
it would include special ed, yes. But the idea, and among many of us, is to get bills to the floor, frankly, for messaging purposes in the 2026 election. So I have several other bills, but they're not really education related. So.
All right. Cool. All right. Thank you. Any other public comment? All right. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see that.
And this is a future one, which is the next time we do a strategic plan, we need to include enrollment. Because if you look at the numbers, there's a good chance there's going to be less than 300 students in high school next year.
All right. All right. Thank you. Okay. Up next on our agenda, we have continuing business, student representatives. So, Abigail, welcome.
Where's her report?
She's brand new. Don't put it on.
No. I just looked at my packet. I'm not asking. I don't know.
Welcome, Abigail. We're glad to have you here.
It's Abby.
Abby? Okay.
Abby.
Welcome.
Just
Thank
you
you.
weren't in.
I wasn't. Oh, no. It's okay.
That's what I did last time.
She had it printed out last time.
I believe it. No.
Oh, yeah.
I can go off memory, but it won't be great.
It's totally fine.
All right.
No worries.
Well,
How's it been? How's it going?
sports, I know volleyball won A game.
All right. Good deal.
That's about it.
Okay.
Apparently soccer lost tonight.
Okay.
For clubs, student council booked prom venue recently.
Oh, good.
National Honor Society has 9 new inductees, and the induction ceremony is this Thursday. Origami Club did have a meeting Thursday, and we have 10 new members.
All right.
Interact is planning a trunk or treat and ushering for barbershop and ushering for the fall play, which is like Halloween time. Art has a bunch of new field trips. There was a representative from a college in Massachusetts that came last week and did an art workshop, I think. Music has the jazz band, concert choir, and percussion ensemble are all working on their pieces for their concert. What are some other clubs?
That's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty upcoming.
I know UVS had an open house, and I think at least 500, they had around 500
It
people
was
came.
busy.
Wow, they usually are.
It was busy.
And I think Kanan's working on some gardens.
Cool.
That's all I got off my memory.
That's awesome. Wow, thank
Well
you.
done.
And she's still on crutches.
And she's on, yeah, you wouldn't know. All right.
Where's the trunk or treat taking place?
Outside of CES and Kanan.
Cool. Oh, that's right. I remember just having them do that fast. That's awesome. Awesome. All right. Any other questions for Abby? Thank you. So there are some like resources that Ms. Fleming will set you up with if she hasn't already, and we'll get you connected to like the broader National Student Board Rep organization and get you tapped into all that stuff. So. And handbooks, yep, and all that fun stuff. All that fun stuff. So. And so yeah, basically, if they, whatever they didn't say last time, it's you are the voice of students. So like, tell us what's happening, and then the same thing, like let us know how we can help. So awesome. All right, up next on our agenda, we have our Wellness Committee meeting. Has my favorite sentence I've ever seen printed. Tim Josephson, not present, was voted chair. So I am the chair of this committee, apparently. Thank you, Amanda. Glad somebody took notes of that. It's all right. That's what you get for not showing up. That's what I get for not being there. That's okay.
Conversation with Jenny.
It'll be all good. No, it's fun. I enjoy this committee. It's a good one. We set our meeting dates, so I'll block that out. We have quarterly meetings. We did some wellness updates, looked at some policy that looks like they looked at, and they'll be coming out. Did some food pantry updates. You can read the minutes there, and then some food service updates. So we'll meet again in December. Any questions on that? See Amanda.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, you have minutes from the Budget Committee. If you did not, perhaps this is for the board to be aware of. There was a state law that was changed to how cooperative school board members are sitting on cooperative school budget committees. We used to be a voting member of the school budget committee. That is no more. The school board now has an ex officio, non-voting member of the budget committee. So we sit there, we observe and everything, but we do no longer have a vote on that committee. There were some other changes too, but that was the most, that was the biggest change. Right, Amanda?
Correct.
Yeah, so. They have a new representative from Canaan. Kristen Delotte is there on the board, and so as you can see, they have a full slate of people. So that one went through the CES and EBS discussion. They did something a little bit different where they went through line by line together with the schools. So each school, they have now finally gotten the schools aligned in their budgets so that they can actually go down each budget line. It's very nice to be able to do that, so that was very handy. But yeah, we just talked about that. So, any questions on that? And those, as always, are open to the public, and I encourage board members to attend those if you are able to. They're downstairs in the community room down there. All right. Up next, we have Communications Committee. I don't have
a
it.
share. I just shared you with minutes because my water heater exploded basically right after that meeting, so I didn't get the minutes for you until today. So we met talking about, and I don't know if Dawn wants to fill in here as well, but
I don't have the minutes, but
all right. Basically, we talked about how the opening of school went, and so possibly suggested how are we doing survey in order to get feedback from other stakeholders outside of the building. In addition, we looked at the goals that the board has assigned to the communications committee and talk about what those may look like, and how are we going to be able to achieve them in something that's measurable. One topic that did come up had to do with making sure that the 3 smaller towns are informed in a proper way with what's happening in the district, and the committee wants to reach out to board members that represent those towns, so specifically Orange, Grafton, and Dorchester, to talk about what is it that you can help us in making sure that those particular towns, because it feels like Enfield and Canaan are pretty well represented, and the information from what happens with the district gets out in a timely manner. But we were, as a committee, we were kind of like, how do we make sure that the other 3 towns are really, where do we post in town? Like, is there an electronic means in order to get information out? And so we wanted to reach out to you guys to see whether or not what would work as representatives for those towns to see how we can, you know, brainstorm ideas in order to make that communication a little bit more efficient. And then we talked about reviewing a couple policies at our next meeting in December, and that's really about it.
Regarding social media and.
Yeah, regarding social media, and seeing where we're at.
General online presence.
I don't have that.
No, we don't know, because I don't have it in today.
Yeah.
He just got it, so.
You didn't fax it to it?
No.
Okay.
Sure,
All right.
like 2 hours, guys.
Yeah, all right.
Any questions for Joe on that one?
No, it's all right.
All right, finance facilities. You have your minutes in there. I got to fix those when we meet next, because this is from October 8th, not September 2nd. We had a report from Matt and Dan. Updates how's the beginning of school has been going. If you're wondering about banners and the whole banner ceremony that we did here, Matt's trying to find hangers for the poles because all of our poles are square and all of the things that hang banners are all round. So he's unable to find like clips that can actually hold the banners on our light poles. So they're trying to troubleshoot that. They've been working on budget stuff, looking they're going to be putting in for rubber flooring in the locker room at the high school. That was never done in the renovation, so that's something that needs to be looked at. Just talked about some other budgetary things. Going to get this new sign wired and done by the mid-November. Poison ivy control, they're doing it. EVS, doing some professional development training for custodians for cleaning, so that there's some best practices. They've joined a facilities group for other facilities managers in the area and across the state, so that's been really good. They only turned the heat on October 8th, so that was good. So save some money there. Talked a little bit about wax floors as well and saving money that way. We were going to talk about traffic concerns, but Chief Porter was unable to attend that meeting. We're going to meet with him next month. There was an accident at the beginning, close to the beginning of the school year, in front of the school before school started. So he had wanted to talk to us about that. But we'll bring him to the next finance facilities meeting and we'll talk about that. Michelle did bring out minutes from November 3rd, 2021, where we talked about the intersection as well. And I'm sure if we look back, we can find older ones where we talked about it as well. So, but we'll do new police chief in Canaan, so we'll gladly talk to him and see what ideas he has and things. So, no update to CIP audit is still working on that. Still working on budget stuff. It's good. We're gonna hopefully we're already in negative balances for school lunches, so if we can stay on top of that, that would be really good. Talk more about transportation. Students are still doubling up. We want to make sure, are we able to, is the Transfinder alert system working so parents can track where the buses are if they're going to be that late? Talking about their advertising for bus drivers, things like that. So that was finance facilities. And actually, if you look in your packet, it does have if you look down and keep scrolling, you're not confused. That is the minutes from 2021 meeting that we had, so you can see what we talked about the intersection as well. So,
I'm curious with regard to the hiring for bus drivers, is the onus on the district or butlers to hunt down, beg bus drivers?
butlers.
Because I noticed Lebanon is running ads on social media about.
From their district?
Yes.
It says Lebanon school districts hiring bus drivers.
Their students.
So I don't know who's paying for that, if it's Butler or if they're just we'll throw some money at it.
No, Lebanon owns their
Lebanon owns their own buses.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they're doing
Got
it.
it.
But
Okay.
the onus is on butlers, but often I shake every tree I can find.
Yeah.
We are onboarding, I will say, 1, 2, 3, 4 of our own employees to get their school bus certs. Butler is training them. And then they'll be eligible. We're getting 2 of our vans, a van and the Kia, inspected so that they're registered as a mixed-use school vehicle, so that we can use those in cases of emergency to transport kids. But our very own staff, who's not here, can't deny it, he actually is interested in potentially driving the bus. So
Nice.
that's what happens when you work at the SAU office.
That's right.
Don't you two laugh?
I think Superintendent are talking about this every single time because some kids are more than an hour late for school every day.
It's
not
crazy.
okay.
This is insane.
Yeah.
This is insane. I don't know what to do about this. And nobody really knows what to do about this.
Man, bizarre.
We cannot manifest. Yeah, go ahead, Kathleen.
Amanda, could
Yep.
you clarify how many of the small buses that the district owns compared to how many we lease from Butlers?
So we currently have 5 vans. Are we guaranteed 4 in the contract, and we have the 1 extra?
We have 5 van routes.
Yeah, and 4 guaranteed in the contract. 1 is the extra one that you all approved for us. Most of those are, a significant portion are special ed vans, though.
Are those all owned by Butler?
Yes,
Yeah, those are not like the vans that we own that sit
Yes.
here. Those are like after-school transport, field trip transport, things like that, right? We don't use those for morning pickups, afternoon drop-offs, right?
no, because they're not inspected and registered as mixed-use school vehicles.
That's why there's no sign on it that says Butler?
Oh, the Butler ones?
Yeah, are they
No,
identified as
no,
Butler?
there's no sign that says Butler because we own those 3.
Oh, I'm getting confused.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So my question is, are the Butler buses identified as Butlers?
yes, they're white minivans, if you will,
Yeah. Mhm.
and they do say Butlers on them.
But
They're the
school-
ones that have the big school bus on the top, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe not, sorry.
Yeah, we do.
Ford Transit van.
I think, aren't they all supposed to have the big school bus sign on it? No?
Because ours transport vans don't have that.
Ours don't need it.
Do not, okay.
Right.
So then the Mascoma owned buses don't have any identification on them?
Our vans do have Mascoma Valley Regional School District in purple lettering on the front doors,
Just lettering or logo or?
just lettering.
Yeah.
Okay, so they all are identified, right? Thank you.
Yes, Dave.
That one I can answer, Kathy, yes.
Yes.
Because I've heard that people are seeing white vans and they're not identified, and I said.
No.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I will,
Oh.
I will go back on that. We are waiting to get the handicapped van,
Ah. Okay.
and the old white van is not lettered, because we keep thinking we're getting rid of
But they're
it,
still in use.
but they are still in use. The old
Okay,
white
so-
van, not very much. There is, Matt Oliver does have an appointment for those to go in and get lettered.
Okay, it's in the works,
Yeah,
good.
it
So it
is.
doesn't look sketchy like a white van just picking up.
Yeah.
I'm glad the community is concerned. Like,
Yeah.
In a white van.
yeah.
Well, I'm relieved.
Phew. All right. Well, that's good. All right. Anything else on Bruce? Or you look like you have something to say.
Oh, yeah, I do, sorry.
All right. Go for it.
Deb was here too. We did the renovation and the mats should find out the mats were supposed to be in the locker rooms. That was part of that,
The floors.
the floors were supposed to be in there. So they need to look back and say, what happened to that? Because I know for a fact that that was part of the renovation, that we were supposed to have that.
I wonder how
That
you
would
let
be
that get
great.
away with that.
Well, so I wouldn't go that way. I just happened to see that. They're supposed to be that in the locker rooms.
Do the flooring again. They were supposed to redo the flooring. It's old tile now that's painted.
No, there was supposed to be the non-slip mats supposed to be in there.
Great, we will look that up.
You look
Yeah,
that
let's
up
look
because
that
I
up.
know,
Make sure that didn't
for a
get cut
fact,
sometime.
when Deb was on and I was on and Cookie, we went through that. I remember, because I pushed for a lot of stuff over in that section over there. And, yeah, okay,
Anything else?
no, that's all I
All right.
saw.
Cool. All right. Up next, superintendent's report. Amanda, take it away.
You do have my written report in your packet. You will see a very nice thank you. Our SALT team, student athlete leadership team. Sometimes I'm going off memory too. If Abby went off memory, I'll go off memory too. So you will see there was a nice thank you email that I copied from some of the volleyball referees. The SALT team did a very nice thank you to them. So you will see that is in your packet. Oh, I have to cheat. I have
Friends of Mascoma.
I have my letter. But,
And also announcement.
Friends of Mascoma Food Pantry.
Yes.
Shoot, Abby, I only had half of it. Only 2 things. So Friends of Mascoma, for people in the community that are looking for food boxes, that information will be coming out soon.
Okay. Any questions for Amanda? All right. Thank you.
Got a Hartford report,
What?
a Hartford VOTEC
Oh.
report. It's quick. It's
Oh, go
not
for it,
on-
yeah, it was on, all right.
So we met on October 1st over at the Hartford Vocational School, and it was a nice meeting. It was a luncheon meeting, and there were several things on the agenda, but mainly focused on updating their information. They want to know from each participating school and what considerations do you want the Hartford Advisory Board to consider as they make the plans for their budget. And so if there's any concerns that you have from the communities about Hartford and what they're doing and growing and all that, you can pass it along to me or Amanda, and we'll make sure that they get that at the next meeting.
Is that like regarding programming or just general concerns or?
I think it's open, for anything that you want to ask. They focused a lot on, they've got a need to expand, and they went into a lot of details, and it's complicated, convoluted. They're part of the Hartford School District, but they're not, and they're looking at a complicated facility use agreement that they're trying to work out the legalities of. But they're definitely moving forward, and they really appreciate having the input, especially from the Mascoma area.
Cool.
So.
All right, any questions for Kathleen on that?
The question I would have is, there was talk of Hartford, Woodstock, and
Oh, yeah.
Windsor potentially becoming a larger district. Did any of that come up?
Not at that meeting, but I'm sure there's, other meetings that I'm not privy to.
Right.
That when they're talking about the future of vocational expansion. And don't forget the adult ed part is expanding as well.
Oh,
Well, and
good.
that's like the complicated piece of they're part of the district, but they're not. And like, there was just a huge redistricting that happened in Vermont that
Yeah.
like condensed a lot of districts into like some pretty inconvenient.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising to, and given that Hartford's facing like the challenges with the contaminants in their walls and things
Yeah.
like that, I'm not surprised. So.
What, they haven't tracked for this?
No, they're not having trouble.
No, they're actually doing very well.
Yeah.
They're looking forward to expanding and growing.
Yeah. If you can send those minutes to Martha, so she can just send it to us in our next packet, that'd be awesome. Cool. All right. Up next, Business Administrator's report. Michelle, ahead. Your report is here in the packet,
It is in the packet.
and we've already talked about school care.
I
But
think
go
we've
ahead. I'm
discussed
sure you want to talk
most
more
of
about
this.
school care.
Yeah, I'll skip the school care part of it. I know you talked about budgets. We've done CES and EBS budgets. They were both up 5% and 6% around those amounts. Hopefully those will go down once we get the health insurance rates. We did budget 20%, but we will see. Today we met with the high school and IRS. Their budgets are looking pretty good. I think they're both going to come in flat or down. What else did we talk about here? Yeah, we talked about that. School care asking for 16. We're going to budget for 20. Teacher negotiations are in progress right now. I know we're going to meet next week. Teachers will have the option of the yellow 2.0 choice fund or the orange 2.0. I will make a correction to my last paragraph. Support staff selected the orange plan, not orange 2.0.
That's what. Yeah.
So that's.
But it got us onto the orange as a driver
got us
last
onto
year,
the
which
orange
was
as a driver, right?
all right. Any questions? Any questions for Michelle? All right. Up next on our agenda, we have bus routes update. Do we have any updates from Butlers at all?
While is the
Or bus credit updates?
but it's its own item. So I do not have any bus route updates. I think maybe they might be getting another driver or two, but it's at least a month away.
Right. It's until they pass their test. Yeah. All right. Bus credits. We had talked a bit about that in the past.
So you do have, the board had asked to see the bus credits, so you do have the September 2025 credits for your review as a separate sheet there.
Yep. There you go. Separate seats, separate from financials. It looks like this.
Got a total of
Looks
7768.
like that. Credit memo. It says credit memo on it. So that's good. No, I'm glad you got that. So cool. Any questions from the board on that?
Paul,
Yes?
what's the balance before I go back up to the lunch thing? How much are they in arrears right now? What's the amount?
I didn't get that for you, but I didn't have that.
Well, approximately, do you have any idea?
I didn't
You
look at
don't?
it. I haven't looked at it since.
We're into October, we got,
We're into
I think
October.
you are looking at the high school with about $1,000 already.
Yeah. They're gonna bring in finance facilities every month. So when we have finance facilities, we'll have that number
okay,
at that time. So
we need to.
I didn't expect to ask for it in October. How about that? You know what I mean? Like,
I didn't expect to see that amount.
I know. So,
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but
all right. Okay, up next, we have new business. Expenditure of $613,818.40 for the assessment contribution to the New Hampshire School Healthcare Coalition that we're looking for a motion for approval. And you can put contingencies on that, like pay on December 30th.
I want to make a motion, we pay on December 30th, 2025, $613,818.40
For,
for the, I'm getting there, School
All right.
Health Care Coalition.
all right.
Second.
All right, Dawn seconds. All right, discussion from the board.
Vacation's not gonna affect that, is it?
No, it's all automated and all that sort of thing, so.
I will say that
We had
if
just
you
talked a
run
lot
the-
about in the hearing right before you got here, so how, like, it's not due till December 31st, but we have to authorize that we're gonna pay it, but we're not gonna pay it until we absolutely have to, just because that's a big chunk of money.
So
So
take the check down to them and hand it to them, right?
in pennies,
Right,
in
right.
pennies, yeah. Oh, yeah, you're gonna change your, change your motion in pennies?
I'm gonna take the check right down and hand it to them.
Don't
last
you
day.
dare.
You're gonna take it one of those
We like to
buses.
keep our insurance, all right.
Last time we had a deadline, but then the deadline changed and.
Yeah, we're not, this,
and
no,
it's
we
like,
shouldn't have that
Should
type
we
of
really
thing.
wait till the last minute?
Those checks made out to, not to me.
Can we just say the final AP run in December, like whatever Candy does
Sure,
that?
is that okay, the final AP, final check run?
Love that.
Final check run is when?
Well, first, I have to double check with her, because
Why don't you say as late as possible?
I don't, yeah. I
You've
don't know
got
what
to
days
do
she's
the
off or what days.
Or not
You've got
to
to
be
do
later
the
than.
manifest.
So
You
Friday
can,
the same.
you can send it
Well, Christmas is
electronically,
that
can't you?
Day she would normally do it, so
It'll be the
only
Friday.
Would you consider
won't be here
amending your
that
motion to December
Doesn't matter that
15th?
she's here.
December 15th?
Well, she'll do it,
Just a minute.
I know, she'll do it before she leaves, probably Tuesday. Right.
For micromanaging too much.
Check the schedule.
No, it's,
Right.
whatever.
I didn't know she was gonna do it.
What's easiest?
The final week of December, the 26th.
26th of December?
26
It'll
is,
All right, you
be
amend your
around
motion?
normal pay.
Do you need an actual date to pay it, or
No.
just a range? Okay.
aren't you gonna just send it electronically
Yeah, I
anyway,
think it's sent out.
right?
The file gets sent to the,
What's that?
the third party who just sends the checks out.
That's fine.
Like, we don't print the checks here. Yeah, it's fine.
Does he need to say as late as possible? Or is the 30th okay? Sorry.
Do you need a date?
No.
I
No, you don't need a
No,
date.
no, you don't need a day. All right, so
Okay.
just
Basically, we're
pay it
just not
by the
paying
end
it
of
this
the
month.
Just
Right?
pay it by the end of December, that's all we
Yes.
want.
Yeah.
Pay it before the deadline.
Now you're all, yeah, all right.
That's
But
what I
not
put the
before
motion
December.
on.
That's what you're saying. All right. Any other discussion on that? All right. All those in favor of approving the expenditure of $613,818.40 for the assessment contribution to the New Hampshire School Healthcare Coalition signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, abstentions. All right, that's all set. DOE approval. Michelle, do you want to talk about that?
Yep, so the DOE was revised to reflect the school care invoice coming out of that 5% retained money, so it just did change the numbers a little bit, so I have to revise it and send it back in, so I do need your signatures with a new date in order for that to go through.
All right. So I'll make a motion that we approve the DOE as amended.
A second.
Okay. All right. Any further discussion?
This isn't what we just signed like last week, is it?
You signed it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and then,
Well, I signed it like
MS
last week on the
25,
communications meeting.
oh, yeah.
Yes, that
Yeah.
was different.
Oh, that's a different one.
All right. Any further discussion?
That was coming around.
All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Abstentions. All right. Up next is I'm going to take leave at this time because I have a previous engagement I have to go to. But you can talk about NHSBA resolutions. I will just say, Diane's looked at them, just give feedback. A lot of them are similar to existing resolutions, so you don't necessarily have to agree with that. You can say it's fine on those. And then there's some fun accepting of donations and such, and some fun policies. So we'll get back to that. So Bruce, I'll hand the meeting over to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Diane's got the resolutions.
We all do.
Yep, they're all in your packet.
Yeah.
So I would just go through them one by one and just spend a minute or two on each one and
Yeah.
just get a feel for the board. You don't have to do official votes on them or anything.
No, no.
See you.
Well, I can try.
What's that?
She asked me if I wanted to talk about it. It seems that the first three all have to do with, funding and local budget control. And so if you look at Hanover, it has to do with open enrollment, basically, and how to fund it and budget it and so forth. And so the first three all have to do that, and the school board, New Hampshire School Board Association gave an alternate resolution, which says it opposes any enrollment legislation that would have the effect of further undermining the reliability of projecting revenues and expenses in setting the school district budgets, and or the effect of impacting revenues and expenses once school district budgets have been passed by the community funding the majority of those budgets with local property taxes. And it seems that, this makes sense. They give their rationale. I don't have to read that aloud to you. I guess, you guys can all read that. But, the first three are pretty much the same, type of resolution, which was open enrollment and how to deal with it and so forth. And so, for each of those, they say, let's, same thing, they recommend adopting the alternate resolution discussed previously, that Hanover and the Dresden districts. So those first three are basically the same. And then what I understand is that I get recommendations from you guys how I'm to vote. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So, what would be your thought? Do I go with the recommendation of the New Hampshire School Board Association and the alternative rationale they gave for each of those?
So you're talking about number 13, number 4,
Oh yeah, they are numbered. I forget that.
I got the numbers in front of me.
Yep, 13.
13, 14, and 15.
14 and 15.
15, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I support the school board, the National School Board Association, the New Hampshire School Board Association recommended to oppose any open enrollment legislation that would have effect of further undermining the reliability of projecting revenues and expenses and settling of school district budgets and so forth. I mean, it does make it very complicated if you have that open enrollment.
By open enrollment, meaning like anybody from any town can enroll, and is that what they're talking about?
Yep.
That
Oh,
is
yeah,
correct.
that would be nightmare.
And the worst part is, we would pay.
Right.
So there was legislation that did not pass, Tom, were you, I can't have you talk now, but, that it was pretty, it could be detrimental to a district like ours, right? So basically, if you worked in Lebanon and you wanted your kids to go to the Lebanon school, and as long as Lebanon said yes, you could go. And then Mascoma would have to pay the per pupil cost to Lebanon. So, you're talking, we send, 10 kids, and, we're looking at a lot of money, right? We're about, I would assume Lebanon's cost is about $20,000 a kid. So it would be detrimental to us to have to do that. I believe, Joe, maybe you know about this too, we would also incur the special ed costs.
I don't believe that is the case.
Okay, good.
I don't believe that special ed cost would be part of it.
Okay, that would be better, but we would be bound to pay. And there are schools right now, I know Profile High School, Prospect Mountain, don't quote me on which high school it is, but there is a high school in the state that actively accepts open enrollment kids and bills other school districts for it. They are an open enrollment school, they're very transparent about that, but they do send bills to other schools. I think it would be in your best interest, or I would advise that if any of these that say no to open enrollment, I would support as a school board. I just don't think it's fair. I don't think it's well done. Apparently the state of Massachusetts has open enrollment, so you can choose to go wherever you'd like to, but there's no financial piece attached to it. So the sending school district doesn't have to pay. There are other mechanisms for which if a student was struggling here in our district, in our school, be that for bullying, be that for any number of other things that we could or couldn't provide to that student, we could send that student to Lebanon if the Lebanon School Board allowed that to happen. And we have done that in some cases. Right now we do have an agreement with Pasquale, SAU 106, thank you, Joe, I couldn't remember the number, where we do have one of their students, it's easier for that student to come here than for that student to, we're closer in proximity, and they're Mascoma graduates and very happy to send their child here. So there are mechanisms for kids to get to the best school available without having it just be open enrollment free for all. So it was a pretty concerning bill that has been put on hold.
Okay.
And the other things too is the school vouchers is like this school district, when say a family decides to send their kid to a private school, a charter school, the school district still has to pay for the special ed services, is that correct?
That is correct.
So it's like these things are all hitting our school district very hard and not to be ignored at all.
That is correct. That's a good point, Laura. Yes, we do pay. For the kids that attend Legend, we do have to pay for their special ed services.
Is anybody else, any more comments on this?
No, that was a great explanation.
Okay. So Diane, so the recommendation would be from the board, I'm hearing that those three, we
Vote with the New Hampshire School Board Association.
yes, that's what we,
Yeah.
you end up voting down there, all those other members that show up down there for that. So the next.
All right, the next one has to do with state funding, and the New Hampshire School Board just added clarity to the proposed resolution by adding, and you can see it, it's number 16, making sure it says, state public schools, public school districts, and public education. So it really, spells it out that this is related to public education only, which I guess that should be important to us.
So 14 and 15, we don't agree.
14 and 15 are, we're gonna go with the,
14 and 15.
yeah.
Right.
And
16,
then 16, it's just adding language to
yeah,
clarify. So
Okay.
that would be the school board
yeah.
amendment. And I assume we're okay with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would support 16.
Okay. Then number 17 having to do, it says, proposed New Hampshire School Board opposes the inclusion of amendments to proposed bills that are not germane to the subject matter of the proposed bill. Okay, and so, New Hampshire School Board Association does not support this, and they give their rationale. You know, and you guys can read that, I don't need to read it to you, but it does seem,
It limits the,
yeah. So it seems like, you know, we would support the New Hampshire School Board Association on this one.
I'm supporting.
So we support the
Like not, we would not
We would vote with them.
vote with them instead of for the proposed resolution.
correct,
So we're against number 17.
yes.
Yeah.
I love the flavor of number 17 because there was a wetlands bill that they tagged on
Yep.
so many issues. It was, has a little bit of everything. I think there were, I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50 amendments on there. And it was a wetlands bill that was, really should pass. And then it had education stuff tied in. It was,
Oh, they were trying to.
that's what this is all about. So,
Sneaky.
All right.
very sneaky.
What about number 18?
18,
Glad you go to this meeting, because I wouldn't want to go to it, so. I don't. That's not my cup of tea for this one.
okay, all schools that receive state or federal funding shall comply with all applicable state and federal laws regarding testing, hiring, practice, and special ed inclusion. And New Hampshire School Board doesn't support, they say they wholeheartedly agree with the sentiment and the intent. However, they have opposed vouchers since 2005, and this is, you know, the concern is over vouchers and using vouchers, and we obviously don't want our kids to go somewhere on vouchers.
Mhm.
And so my thought was again to vote against this as recommended by the School Board Association.
I would agree with you, Diane.
Any other comments on that? Okay. We're not supporting that one. Number
I read
19.
these like 2 weeks ago too, so I'm
So that would
sorry.
be a total loss of autonomy too,
Yeah.
with your regional
Just
district.
log down
That's
these
not
things.
okay.
Whatever. 19 is support submitted
Yeah.
by Raymond.
And 19 was about, well, you guys can read it, but the School Board Association said there are already 2 existing resolutions that address the topic in this proposed resolution. So why reinvent wheels? Just
Support the Board Association's decision in this, to not support this.
right. That would be my thought.
Anybody else?
And as Tim explained to me, they've had their lawyers check these all over. And so their decision to support or not to support is based on lawyer recommendation.
And they do support those?
And they don't support
Don't
it.
support it. 19 is not supported.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
2 other.
20 is the same way. Just so, you know, I mean, Diane can go over this, but
Yeah,
just
I
so,
mean,
just so you can push along with this, because usually we go by what the New Hampshire School Board Association goes along with, unless we bring up something we want to
Right.
bring up, which we can always bring up before
yeah, so,
we go.
so this Concord School Board, resolution, again, and the SBA says they believe we already do this, already have it, it's in place. So, again, my thought is not to support this.
Yep.
I would agree.
Anybody else have a comment?
Well, I was just looking at the rationale for that. So it says the New Hampshire School Board Association supports that the state and federal governments seek and provide viable, sustainable, and permanent funding to provide a school breakfast and lunch at no cost to students and at no cost to local school districts, and it's been amended 2022, 24, and I don't see how that fits with the rationale for this resolution. So where are we getting no cost at the local school district? At the bottom of page 12 there.
Right, no, I see where you are.
Oh, okay.
I know. It supports that the state does this, but I don't know that it can mandate. Can they?
Okay, right.
So I think that's what, yeah, we support this, but they can't mandate that the state provide that, right?
So they're just saying there's an existing resolution to address it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't need
Yeah.
another one.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So Diane, you'll be down here in October. They'll make discussions on this, on each one of these.
I'm planning for a long day.
What's that?
I'm planning for a long day.
Well, you get fed down here, that's one good thing. Okay? You get-
I don't have to pack my lunch.
You
then.
don't, no.
Okay.
You'll at least get fed and keep track of your money.
And again, the proposed, Concord also proposed a resolution about, federal gun-free school zone and, the school board basically says, we already have these resolutions,
That's on 21.
which is,
That is 21.
yeah.
21.
Page 15, there's, 3 different resolutions that,
Yep. Just so.
rationales that are there, resolutions and so forth that already exist. Again, just changing wording and so forth, I think. I mean, it's pretty clear that firearms aren't allowed in the school, that there's opposition except for our police officers. So I would tend to agree that with the New Hampshire School Board, not to support this because we already have it. Yes?
Yep. Fine, 20.
Okay.
Cameron, you got all this, correct?
Oh, yeah,
I'm just trying to keep everything on pace here.
I got you.
All right, number 22.
So Hooksett advocate for legislation to amend current statutes to allow simple majority, 50% plus 1 vote threshold, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the New Hampshire School Board
Supports.
gave an alternative resolution, which they support legislation that would allow for lower voter legislative body thresholds to approve bonds intended for the maintenance, repair, improvement, etc. So instead of giving a number specifically, they're saying a lower voter legislative body threshold. So, and their rationale, says supports the purpose of the proposed resolution, but felt the language needed slight minor amendments to capture the intent and purpose of the proposal.
That was the English teacher at someone.
Number 23.
That's 22.
Oh, I know, I'm just moving on to the 20.
So, well,
Okay.
so we support the school board resolution?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
23 is on the hooks at 1.
So next one, Hooksett has to do with consistent fund of catastrophic special education fund. And again, the New Hampshire School Board Association doesn't support, but they give resolutions, or the existing resolutions that already support this. There's, yeah. So, no real need to reinvent the wheel there either.
Yeah. Anybody have comments?
Joe, what do you think? You agree, being a special ed teacher?
I would support the School Board Association in this.
Okay. Manana, this has to do with disability, supports amendments of RSA 91-A to allow individuals with disability as defined by the Americans with Disability Act, because they are caring for a household member with such a disability, be counted as attending in purpose for purpose of establishment of a forum.
24,
And
so.
So,
So they're saying that kids don't go to school, they can stay home and take care of their disabled
Is it for the
family
purpose of
members.
meetings?
Look at page 20. There's an alternative resolution. It's
Right.
mostly language. I think.
yeah, they're just adding words like amending instead of amendments and public bodies. So they basically, they support an alternative resolution by changing some of the language. But basically, allowing, I think, if I remember, and again, I read this, but those who need to stay.
So the idea would be like if a board member was remote, that would count for quorum. That
Yes,
was
yeah,
participating in the
yeah.
meeting.
To just attend virtually.
Yes,
Right.
it would just be
Right.
attending virtually,
Yeah.
much like you did when we were in COVID.
Right.
So I would support the New Hampshire School Board Association
Okay.
recommendation.
Okay,
Okay.
you guys got it.
You're lucky because previous years, we only had like 5 or 6 of these, and you got a lot. So.
Well, and now I'm trying to remember the ones I read as I got them.
You're gonna have all day, and so have fun.
I'll just read through them again before I go.
What's
It's
that?
important for you
I'll
to be
read
there.
through, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
read through them
You
again
get to
before
meet
I go.
everybody else down there.
In case I wanna, say something.
Thank you for going.
Thank you for doing this,
You're welcome.
okay? And you'll come back with glowing reviews about this meeting, I can imagine, so, good luck.
I used to go to the union delegate,
Well,
so,
Yeah, well, okay. So next, everybody all set with this?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. October 1st, in your packet, if you don't have the packets online for enrollments. And they're showing that. And anybody have any questions on regards to that? If not, everybody good with that at the moment? Of course, that always changes not changes too much as we go along. And then the next part of it is the SB2 timeline, which I think we've already,
Do we have to approve this?
we have to approve the SB2 again.
Sure.
Okay, I'll look for a motion to approve the SB2 timeline on this.
I'll make a motion to approve the SB2 timeline as stated.
Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
You will see that the deliberative session is Saturday, January 31st, not in February. And we'll get this date out because I know that other towns sort of work around it too. Got 2 of those dates, so we'll work around it. Hey Deb, that's your meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
I
Opposed? That's unanimous. Let's see, need a declaration of emergency certification approval. That is the next thing on the agenda, and it's regards to, I got that in front of me. Is that the one?
Yeah, you go.
Okay, that's the one in the Department of Education Bureau credentials. Anybody have, do I have a motion on that? Accept that, or do I need a motion first? I'll make a motion.
No, I'll make a motion to accept, to approve the letter dated October 15th to the Department of Education Bureau of Credentialing, and it's signed by Timothy Josephson, Chair.
And I'll second. Any discussion?
So this will allow us for Jacqueline King, who is currently a certified art teacher but not a certified health teacher, to have a 1-year emergency authorization to sort of get her ducks in a row, if you will, before she goes on a plan, a site-based plan. The site-based plans now cost about $500 each, so we're not sure we wanted to put her where this truly is an emergency. We couldn't find a health teacher, and she really, in her heart, wants to be an art teacher, so we're not sure if this would be a long-term proposal for her.
But it's nice to have people who can kind of be flexible and help out in different ways.
We were super happy to have her, so.
Nice.
She may decide next year that health is really what she wants to teach. Middle school health, that sounds like a
Oh,
dream.
that's always fun.
Yeah. So, if she does, then we will pursue the alternative plan for her. But for right now, she's sort of deciding whether or not that's where her heart is.
Any further discussion? Any other further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Next is Mascoma Watershed Conservation Council donation of $6,658.36 for the Mascoma Wilderness Project approval.
I'll make a motion to approve the Mascoma Watershed Conservation Council donation for $6,658.36 for the Mascoma Wilderness Project.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Kathleen, second. Any discussion?
I do not know a lot about this. I do know that Missy Stark has been instrumental in working with this group in order to provide some outdoor.
Yeah, what is the Outdoor Pursuits gym class?
They do things like mountain biking and.
Fitness experience, but they like hiking and orienteering.
It's very cool.
Is there a lot of student interest in the outing club?
Outing club, I'm not fully aware on. I believe there's at least 10 members. I think there's a couple of freshmen.
That's good.
Yeah.
But they just got approved like last board meeting, so I'm not sure.
Any further discussion on this? If not, make a motion, ask for, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. We have one more thing on here, and, well, no, I'm looking at getting ahead of you, because I wanted to give Abby a chance to get out of here shortly. Cornish Fair Association donation of $4,597.74 for the Mascoma Valley Regional High School Galapagos trip. Probably didn't say that very well. I get a motion on that.
I motion to accept the check for $4,597.74 from the Cornish Fair Association for the Spanish trip.
I'll second.
Diane, and then seconded. Any discussion?
have we received a donation from the Cornish Fair Association in the past?
We have not.
I thought it was something new, which
Did the
is,
kids work there or something?
Oh, the kids and the adults parked cars.
That's right, I do remember that, yes.
So if y'all didn't accept this, you would probably be looking for a new superintendent. I think I spent 8 hours in the sun on a Friday night parking cars.
Oh, fun.
I'm not very good at it.
Really?
But you were
How come?
better by the end.
we'll thank you for
You're a
doing
pro
it.
now.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You'll be parking cars at graduation before you know it.
Yeah, there you go.
It
No,
was very
no,
strange.
no.
Hey, I worked for Air New England when I was,
Yeah.
I brought
Well
planes.
said.
Be careful, we'll bring you in next year.
All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. And I got one
And
last one.
thank you to the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And the volunteers.
Yeah.
yeah,
Appreciate it.
we love our volunteers.
Yeah. Mascoma Youth Sports League donation of $2,850 to the EBS scoreboard approval. I have a motion, I have a motion on the floor.
I'll make a motion to approve the Mascoma Youth Sports League donation for $2,850 for the EVS scoreboard.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
And Diane and seconded. Any discussion?
So they've given a total of $7,850 in this 1 year?
That's correct.
That's outstanding.
Yeah,
That's a lot
that's
of
really
money.
nice.
Well, when you donate the scoreboard and then realize we need to put it up and wire it in, you get us a little more money to do that.
Oh, that's what happened.
Oh, that's what the,
Okay.
Oh, God, well, you know,
Well, I'm glad that we have
appreciate their
support,
consistency.
thankful,
and follow through.
yeah,
And follow through.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Abby, would you like to leave now? Because the rest of this meeting, you don't need to sit here and listen to policies. And, okay? So,
Wait, somebody don't have anything for this.
well, yeah, second. Abby, you all set with everything you need to bring up to us?
She's all set.
All set for next time around?
Yeah,
Okay.
showed it to the wrong person.
That's okay, you share it to me.
You got the phone?
Person's fine.
Do you have your father picking you up, so you?
At some point, I just texted them, so I got another 15 minutes, but.
Okay. Okay.
Feel free to listen to policies if you want.
No, she didn't want
We
to.
can
Oh,
stay
want
here
to.
if we'd
You
like.
can
She-
sit in a on a comfy
I want
couch.
her to come back.
That's true. Yeah.
I want her to come back. I don't want to burden her with the policies. So,
She might find them very interesting.
I don't think so.
Well,
I don't think so. We've had more, whatever. So, speaking of policies, Kathleen, you can take over on the policies and let you go ahead with the readings. How's that?
no, thanks, I don't feel like it.
You don't?
Nobody wants it.
Nobody wants it?
I'll do it.
Oh.
Thank you,
That's it.
Joe.
All right.
No,
Here I
see, I
go.
tried to give you something you wanted. You didn't want
Here
to
I
do it.
go.
Who told you I want to do policy?
I gave it to you last time.
I was giving you a courtesy, it doesn't mean I'm gonna do it every time.
Hey, I'm not every time I'm not gonna do them. I got news for you.
All right, so I'll
Go ahead.
make a motion for first reading on policy IMBD high school credit for 7th and 8th grade coursework. Policy IIB class sizes and student educator ratios. IIB-R for class size regulations. Policy JLCF wellness. Policy JLCK physical and emotional well-being of students. Policy IMAH daily physical activity. Policy EBCH chemical safety and chemical hygiene plan. Policy EBCH-E1 chemical safety and hygiene plan and chemical hygiene plan for the template. Policy IHCA summer activities. Policy EHAG use of generative artificial intelligence. Policy IMBA remote learning. And policy IMDA patriotic exercises for first reading.
You have a second?
I was second.
Okay. Anything we need to know about this, Amanda, or any of these, to change or any of these?
Yes, there are changes to all of these. Do you want to go through them one by one, Bruce, or would that make you happy?
Oh, God, yes. It would.
thought it
It's
might.
just- yeah, not really, but it's your time, it's not mine, it's, you know, we're gonna be
I'm
here as
happy to
long.
go through them and give a quick overview, then people can
Go
think
for
about
it.
them
Go
before
for it.
second reading. So your first IMBD, you're looking at an update from the School Board Association. This has to, remember, we've talked a lot about the minimum standards, the Ed 306s that April did the presentation on last time. So it's updated to reference that, and a little bit of a language change, some language added regardless of age or enrollment was also added in this. So not a lot of big changes to this one. Next, IIB. In this one, you're looking at more updates to the Ed 306 rules and changes. It's got a new title. It is exactly what the School Board Association has wanted us to add in.
Run a kindergarten class with 25 kids.
IIB-R is class size regulations. We went through this in EIC, I do believe. I'm getting the nods from the two people there. We talked about changing some of the age ranges, just to make, that nice balance between a class that's not too small, and a class that's not too big. I think at the budget committee, I mentioned that the Vermont schools have now said that the smallest class size for core classes at the high school level is 18. So 18 would be the magic number. So we want to make sure that
That is the minimum size.
can't be any smaller than 18, with some exceptions like AP classes, but your core freshman English class would need to run with 18 kids in it. So, we really worked at the previous range for kindergarten was 12 to 18. We've just changed it to 12 to 20. We changed the next range. We had like a 3 and 4 and a 5 to 8. And we really just changed that to be grades 3 through 8 with a range of 12 to 30. 30 kids in a class, I would only have one section for some of it as our enrollment declines. We talked, the high school was there, so we talked about what it looked like in the high school for a lab, what would be a good number. It was 14 to 24. We actually dropped that to be 10 to 20 kids as optimal for in a lab. That's where we have perfect amounts of equipment and what the teachers thought would be a really good number. Mathematics, we looked at the previous range was 14 to 24. We changed that to 10 to 30, I'm sorry. So actually in the rest of your classes, we looked at 10 to 30. So class size is no smaller than 10 and no larger than 30 at the high school level, no matter what the subject matter. So then on the very bottom, it says generally, it used to say 14 students will be the minimum required, and now it says 10. We changed that to 10 because there are some classes that would function. Some AP classes would not be able to function if we didn't drop that number down to 10. Will be required to teach a course unless it is a single offering that a student could not take in the future. When exceptions are desired, a written request will be forwarded to the school board, was a change that we made. So the high school will now be making sure that you all know, because I do think that that is important, that you understand if we have a class that's only going to run for 5 kids. Before it just came to me. But I think it's more important. I didn't do a good job of reporting that to you all. So we've skipped that step, and the request will come directly to you all, which is common practice in other school boards and staff. Wow, Brewster, I got windy on that one.
You're fine, you let me get the paramedics here, let me know. Okay.
JLCF.
Yep.
This was reviewed in wellness, the wellness committee. The School Board Association sent this to us for revision because of the Ed 306s. There is a more direct connection between physical activity the requirements from the USDA and Section 4 of that sample policy. Daily, blah, 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 yeah. So this has been pretty well vetted by the Wellness Committee and gone through and updated to the School Board Association's changes. It's a hefty one. I'll have to stand that one, Brewster, sorry. JLCK was another one that we reviewed in Wellness, had a title change. It used to be called, let's see, just the special physical health needs of students. And so you can see they have emotional, physical and emotional well-being of students. So that I thought was a nice change. And the School Board Association really updated it once again to the Ed 306s, and really to make sure that it is also addressing the emotional well-being of our students. We kind of like that. IMAH is a policy that the School Board Association has revised to designate the Wellness Committee with the responsibility to monitor the implementation of this policy and to make recommendations to the board. So that was the major change in that one. We have had, you'll see that, you know, when you compare the alphabetized or the alphabet bullets with the numbered bullets, a lot of them are exactly the same, but that biggest change is that last paragraph. That is a full addition on this policy. Is that it? No. Keep going, man. Keep going. Just keep going. Oh, the chemical safety and chemical hygiene plan as written or helped with the writing with our own Tim Josephson. The only change to this one, because this was a new policy last year in September of 2024, the only change is that this policy is revised to reflect the requirement embedded in the chemical hygiene template for an annual audit. So this is the template that follows is EBCH-E1. So that's the template, and this just reflects that there's an annual audit of the plan. Summer activities, IHCA. Oh, once again, the good old Ed 306s. We were pretty busy with those, so those are some changes here. And it is also requiring schools to have a policy for how career readiness, activities, and opportunities to achieve graduation competencies can be included in summer activities. So we do have a lot of credit recovery or Title I. We've got a lot of summer activities that happen. This just helps us solidify those in a policy. Summer school for everyone. EHAG is another policy that I think is pretty new. Yes, this is brand new. Brand new. So just looking at generative AI and how it would be impacted, looking at what the School Board Association has done, I think we need to give this policy a chance. We'll review it in communications and see how it's going. I'm sure Craig and Seth and Kamala will have some input to help us with that. But at this point, it is a recommended one, and we have had some concerns from faculty and staff on AI, so I do think it's important that we have something in process and we look at revising it as we need to make changes to it, if we do. IMBA, remote learning. This one is important to us because we do use, for snow emergencies or emergency days, we do incorporate some remote learning after a couple of snow days, bless you. So once again, we're looking at the minimum standards, the Ed 306 rules, how they've impacted here. We've renamed distance education, which is what the old policy called it, to remote learning. And the addition of specific provision, a specific provision for alternative, there it is, learning programs. You know, in case we might have students that might need to do some extra work for a number of reasons could possibly happen. And patriotic exercises. So this policy is one that really we did not previously have, but it is important because some of the new legislation does have requirements surrounding Constitution Day, Veterans Day, and Memorial Day. I believe those are the three. How'd I do? Look at that. So there are some requirements around there, so I wanted to make sure that this policy got added. It's come to light because Constitution Day was added with this in the new legislation, right? So I think this is an important one so that we can point teachers and I can point principals to it so that they know what those requirements are and what they should be doing for our kids.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. All those in favor of first reading, say aye.
Aye.
And that's unanimous. And Mr. Wood, go ahead with the rescind on the next ones, please.
All right, I'll make a motion to rescind policy JICM, bring your own device technology, IMBC, alternative credit options, policy ILBAA, high school graduation competencies, policy IKFA, early graduation, and policy IKAA, interdisciplinary credit.
Second.
Kathleen seconds. Any discussion? If not, any discussion on this? If not, okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And it's unanimous. Okay, agenda items for the next meeting, committee reports, delegate assembly update, winter coach nominations, and any other reports we might have coming to us in the next meeting. Public comment. Dan? Yes, sir.
Just like to give kudos to the audio video group who were at the Orange Fall Festival. Did a great job. First time I've been there and I could hear all the music. Because I was stuck there for 5 hours and they had great music. And they did a great job. A bunch of kids were there. Just did a great job. My other comment is to the School Board Association, vouchers. The train has left the station, okay? I know they've been against it for 20 years, but at some point they're going to have to work with it. They should be working with a policy that works with the vouchers. Just isn't, we're not in favor of vouchers, we're never going to be in favor of vouchers, so we don't want to hear about vouchers. I just think that it's left the station, vouchers are here, vouchers are going to stay here. They're not going away. So that's just my comment.
Thank you, Dan.
Just one more comment, which is enrollment.
Thank you. All set. Thank you very much. All right, next is personnel resignation nominations. Keep in front of you.
I'll make a motion to accept the nomination notification sheet for discussion.
Second? I was matching your confusion, so.
Okay, it's somewhere in there.
Okay.
So these are all resignations.
Yes, yeah.
There's no nominations on here.
Sorry, resignation.
Oh, do we have anybody in the pipeline for these, like, that we're hoping will come forward, or are we concerned at all?
We're a little bit concerned. The girls' basketball team, that is a little bit concerning.
Surprising.
Who seconded that motion?
Me.
Thank you.
So that is a little bit concerning to me. Hopefully Rick Lampman likes to coach girls' basketball because he may be stuck coaching that.
Do we ever do any kind of, like, outreach for recruiting coaches?
Usually you don't have trouble getting coaches too often because usually they filter right in and move up.
Well, yeah, you get a lot of, like, the parents that come forward. That,
Yeah.
But if we don't have anybody in the hopper for that, is it worth some kind of outreach? Just curious.
I don't know. I will check though, Don. I can ask Rick. I don't know if he has some parents that have approached him. Yeah, I can definitely ask. The Title I tutor, that one is that is a spot that we struggle to fill Typically, it's a retired teacher because it's only part-time. So this person did find a full-time job, which is why she left.
Any other discussion on this? Sometimes this thing here, the coaches staff, sometimes they can double up the same coach for the same team.
Oh, I know, my husband coaches volleyball and he's got 32 kids, which is like 8 too many. So
Yeah.
we
well,
do ask a lot of our coaches, but
well,
it's one of those things.
What I
that's-
meant was they have an A team and a B team, you know, and then, you know,
Okay,
some
cool.
schools, like Canada, they run like four teams, you know, they split them up and do what they can, but, you know. All right, so we just, this is on discussion, we need to accept, we need to, you made this discussion, correct?
I did.
All right, I need a motion on this to accept the resignations as listed. I'll make the motion, we accept the resignations as listed.
You're
That
the
way you
chair,
just
you're
said
supposed to
that.
make a
I
motion.
can make them,
Okay.
I can,
All right.
I can. Just point of order, I'm just telling you, I can, Tim did, I can. If somebody else wants to make the motion instead, I'll rescind my motion and let somebody else do it.
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to accept the resignations as listed on the green sheet.
Anybody second?
Second.
Who seconded?
Me.
Got it?
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, it's unanimous.
We have non-public.
Yes, we do have non-public, and make a motion, somebody make a motion to go into non-public.
Hi, Dan.
Thanks,
I make a
Dan, for coming.
motion to go into non-public.
You have a
I'll
second?
second.
All right. Mr. Wood?
Yes.
Under what?
91.
Only for hiring. We only have hiring. I have 2 things listed, but there really is only hiring. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Stacy?
Yes.
Mr. Archibald? I
Yes.
got Miss Archibald, sorry.
Yes.
Ms. Adams?
Yes.
Ms. Anna?
Yep.
And Mr. Bowles? Yes. We're in non-public.